All right. We're live. Just had to double check on the computer because last time I thought I was live and then I wasn't. That was not cool. All right, let's see. Okay, we're gonna be talking, working on building the Darksaber today. So we've got some good progress on it, and I'm hoping to share that progress with you guys here, see what you guys think, and then continue to work on it while we chat and hang out. So hey, we've got a couple of people just jumped on. Feel free to comment in the throw a little chat comment in the chat there and let me know, say hi, let me know where you're coming from. And yeah, so we're gonna be talking Darksaber. I'll show you guys the progress that I have so far on it, and what we've been able to put together and get put together. Hey, Rose Colored Cottage, Leia, what's up? And what we've got put together so far, and then how what I'm working on currently, and I'll continue to work on that through the video as we hang out and chat. All right. Jacob Jensen, hey man, how's it going? All right, so this is what I have. I'm patterning out the hilt so far. Whoa, did we just lose a bunch of people right when I'm about to show it off? Here's what I have patterned out on the hilt so far. This is what I'm working on and will be working on during the video. I'm going to make this guard a little bit longer than what we have here. But obviously this full length is not part of the blade. It's actually going to, or the hilt is going to end right there, as you can see. I'm just patterning it out so that what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this so that it can be made out of foam for those that want to make it out of foam. And then for those that want to go big and make it how we're making it, which is going to be with a full soundboard and motion tracking and full lights with the blade and everything like that. Then what we're doing is we're actually using a steel tubed handle for this, so to be able to get a nice sturdy base for our blade that we have made out of acrylic. I'll bring that over and show you guys what we've got on that so far. But yeah, so that's what we've got on the hilt, and I'll be continuing to work on this, on the details and everything on the hilt tonight. Starting with changing up this guard a little bit. I wanted to make it a little bit longer and possibly a little bit skinnier, we'll see. But so far it's matching my reference images pretty well. Just want a little bit more length on it. So yeah, that's the guard so far. Let me tell you guys kind of what we're doing to be able to make this super legit. Let me grab the acrylic. Just a second here. Okay, so this is pretty awesome. We had these guys, the acrylic peeps here in our town, cut this out with their laser. I just had to create the Illustrator file with like the right dimensions and size and everything we wanted, and they cut it out. So this is just brown sticky paper on it. You can see the acrylic there on the edge. So we've got, let me unwrap this carefully to show you guys what we've got going on here. So I'm gonna actually set this down on the table and turn the camera down so you guys can see, because I don't want to try to hold it up in the air with this piece in particular. So right here, what we had them do was in the 1/2 inch acrylic, we had them cut it out in my design that I sent them in Illustrator, just a 1/2 inch rim kind of all the way around, and then it gets a little bit skinnier here at the bottom to only like a 3/8 inch gap. But so this way the center of it's going to be opened up. We're going to glue it down to this 1/4" piece, and this 1/4" piece will get glued on top of that. But what we're going to do, let's see, thought I saw a question here. Jake said, who are your acrylic peeps? Delvey's Plastics, downtown, or kind of in South Salt Lake area. But yeah, so what we're gonna do is this 1/2 inch is clear acrylic, just perfectly clear all the way through. And what we're gonna do is probably rough up these edges on the inside, and then we've got these crazy LEDs that are like 144 per meter. So like regular LEDs, unfortunately Myron has the LEDs with him. He's been playing around with the programming and that kind of stuff at his house, so I don't have them here right now. But here's kind of a look at like regular LEDs, right? So there's one, and then there's another one right there. The ones we have, there's one, there would be another one, another one, another one, another one, and then this one. So there's like, you know, 4 more in that gap that between the two LEDs on the one that we got than you would see here on like more traditional ones. So that's going to help us with a couple things for the Darksaber. The light coming out of it, it's going to be a lot brighter, and it's going to have less gaps of no light in between where you'd have hot spots. We're still going to be diffusing it quite a bit, but with that decrease in the potential for hot spots along the blade, we're hoping that's going to really help to just really get a good, even, solid light all around. So right here we've got the, and so we got this idea. We loved how both Odin Makes and Bob from I Like to Make Stuff did the blade design, but we're gonna be modifying it and adding to it with a couple of our own thoughts and ideas how to improve that. And so what we're gonna do is these 1/4" pieces are frosted, so they're not shiny. Both of them did like a black acrylic on the tops and bottoms. We're actually doing it's transparent, semi-transparent, it's opaque, but it's frosted, and we're gonna paint the black center on the inside of it here, and then we'll glue it down to here. But what we're gonna do with painting the inside black is because if you look at the Darksaber, you've got let me grab a couple of my reference images here. Oh yeah, if you guys are wondering about this behind me, my mannequin did not grow a tumor. It's it's actually, if you guys watch my cosplay quick tip video that's coming out tomorrow, this will make more sense. It's talking about how to do patterning and stuff when it's like a bigger, bulkier item that sticks off of your shoulder and that kind of thing, or off of your head with a big helmet, or, you know, non-human shapes kind of thing, if you need to make ears on a helmet or things like that. I teach you guys a cool technique in my quick tip video tomorrow that comes out on how to do that. I call it the basket build out method. And so that's a really cool one. You guys got to check that video out tomorrow, and then that will make more sense behind me. Okay, let me grab some of my reference images here. They're on the corner of the table. Okay. All right, so if you look at the Darksaber, actually I don't have one printed out of the edge of the blade. So for those of you that have seen Clone Wars, Rebels, Mandalorian, Darksaber is like throughout all of that, and it's like the coolest lightsaber ever. And so on the, like, what you would perceive as like the cutting edge of the blade, I'm sure it cuts in all directions because it's a lightsaber, but as what you perceive as the cutting edge of the blade, right, along this part, it has kind of, it's got this bright white, and then it has a little bit of a fade as it starts to kind of go up the black a little bit. And then there's kind of these little like like little electrical things that kind of like kind of are firing all along there as it kind of transitions into that pure black. And so what our plan is that we're gonna paint the backside of this inside part with that black. We're gonna leave a 1/2 inch along this edge to sand to a bevel to get that bright light halo effect around the edge. And then on the cutting side, we're gonna actually on the back side scratch and etch in to the black a little bit in certain spots, or kind of like sand it down a little bit shallower so it's not as dark right along the edge, and just kind of make that be a little bit more of a faded look. And then we're gonna have another set of LEDs that run inside of here. Let's show you. So then, so along this cutting edge side, right, we're gonna have LEDs that are gonna run along this, pointing out, all the way around, pointing out. And once we glue all these together, we're gonna sand the edges to a bevel. But then along this cutting edge, we're gonna actually have a set of LEDs that will run like facing up and down, back to back along here. So we'll have the ones that run along there shining out, and then we'll have the ones pointing up and down all along this cutting edge part. And then we'll program it with the teensy, like the tiny little Arduino board that we got. We'll program in like kind of that fuzz static type of effect there. So we'll have kind of that little like hum to it, to the lights along there, and then there will be like brighter flashes or like kind of with the little electrical shocks that kind of come up along that cutting side of the blade. Because that was something we felt was missing from some of the other ones that people have made. Like I said, love Odin and Bob from I Like to Make Stuff and Odin Makes. Check out their channels, they're amazing. And that's where we kind of got the base idea of this acrylic setup, doing the kind of like cutout inside and then the sandwich technique to be able to run the lights up. We thought that was a genius idea. And so we're using that idea of theirs, and then we're wanting to just like up the ante a little bit, be able to add the full, get that full look of the lighting along that bladed edge that kind of has that fade like I was talking about. So yeah, pretty excited about that. Let's see, I've seen several comments. I haven't checked in to see where we're at. So Myron's on. He said he's working on the lights right now, so perfect. You should post this to your channel afterwards. I want to stay up and watch, but I know I shouldn't. Okay, yeah, I will leave it up for a little bit, for like a day or two probably, or something like that after the stream. So if you need to duck out early, you can feel free to watch it again tomorrow or something like that. Watch the rest of it. But yeah, sweet. Freak out, geek out. That's what I am doing right this minute. I'm gonna paint it black, and the white frosted LED shines through the paint and makes it look spacey. Nice, yeah, awesome. Yoriel, hey, how's it going? Aaron Kozler, Blade is starting to become a reality. Keep up the great work. Can't wait to see the final product. Thank you. Yeah, I'm getting excited. Like seeing this come together. This was a huge piece of it. I'm nervous to like lift it up because that center piece, without being glued to the other two sandwich pieces, is kind of a little bit nerve-wracking. But yeah, like seeing this blade like come together is like super awesome. And so it looks a little wide here, probably, and also looks a little thick because it's like an inch thick. But when we add the bevel, we're gonna sand a bevel onto it. It's gonna make it appear a lot thinner than it is. And then also too, the blade width is partially because we are sanding in a 1/2 inch here. That's gonna just have this bright white halo to it. So the real thickness will look like what the black section of it is. And then the white will look more just like a light glare off of, halo off of it all. So, but yeah, thank you so much, Aaron. I appreciate it. Rose Colored Cottage asked, is there going to be a giveaway? So yes, glad you mentioned that. So a while back we had on our live stream William Jakespeare, if you guys are familiar with him on YouTube. He hopped onto our live stream and he saw that we were working on a Darksaber, and he's like, "Hey, I'm gonna beat you guys." He just came out with one where he actually did like a kind of a practical film effect with it, where he used like this reflective tape. So when you have like the bright lights on it, the Darksaber looks really cool, like it's all lit up on the edges, but it's just like this reflective tape. So it's a super easy way to create one. If you guys haven't seen his video, go check that out. It's super cool. But he makes kyber crystals and sells them on Etsy, I think. And he sent us a bunch of them, and we're gonna integrate one of them into this Darksaber. Have it. We're actually gonna use this technique that he found that is kind of by accident. We're gonna spray the clear one with like a tinted visor spray type of thing, so it looks black on the outside, but then when you light it up, it kind of has like these like, you know, white bubble like glow things coming out of it. It still lights up even though it's black. So we're gonna do that in ours, but then we have a couple others that he sent that we're gonna give away on the video. That's when we have the video come out for the Darksaber, when it's all done. We're gonna give away a couple kyber crystals. So make sure that you guys have subscribed to the channel so that you get notified when that video comes out, because we'll be doing that giveaway on it. So that's super cool. Thanks for bringing that up. Uriel says, I'm working on Star Wars Rebels product. I'm making Kanan Jarrus's armor arm. Sweet. Yeah, I love Kanan. He's so cool. Everybody in the Rebels show is just like so fun. Such fun characters. That's awesome. I'm excited to see. Please like tag me in your progress on like Instagram and different things. Hey, much props. He asked, how heavy do you think it's going to be? But before I answer his question, you guys have to see this. So, much props. If you guys are following his channel, you've probably already seen this because he just put out a video on it last week. Does this look familiar to you guys? Let's see. Can any of you guys guess what this is? Trying to kind of give you guys a hint. He made the sword that's in my logo, and made it out of our What the Foam, and just sent it to me in the mail. I get this package from him. I'm like, what is he sending me? This is crazy. I wasn't expecting anything. And then I open it up and I'm like looking at the sword, and I'm like, well, that's a cool sword. That's awesome. I wonder what it's from, you know, like. And I'm looking at it, I'm like, this is so cool. He did such a good job on this. And then I read like this note he had. He's like, Cosplay Apprentice sword. And I'm like, that was so nice of him to make a sword for me. That's so cool. I love it. And then I was like, wait a second. And I started looking at it and I'm like, wait, that's and this, and this. And I'm like, wait, that's my sword in my logo. If we had some harsh lights in here, you could see it, really see it with like the shadow and stuff. But you can see it right there. Just like mimics perfectly the logo. Anyway. I'm like freaking out about how awesome this is, and I'm gonna post my reaction on Instagram probably tomorrow or something like that, as to when we filmed me opening it and everything. And but yeah, so keep an eye out for that. We'll probably do it in like Instagram stories or Instagram TV or something. But yeah, anyway, I'm gonna have to redo my logo in the back now and integrate this in somehow. But so super excited. So cool. But yeah, okay, so how much do I think it will weigh? That is a great question. Let us weigh this, and then we'll weigh what we have of our hilt so far, and that will definitely weigh more than probably what the hilt will actually be, but we'll count the extra steel. It'll probably end up weighing, whatever we weigh will be more than what it's going to be. But let me grab the scale real quick. Okay. Hold up. Where did the scale go? Sorry guys, just a second. It might even be closer than I think here. Because I was weighing some foam. Alright, just a second guys. I'm looking for the scale. We're gonna find out how much this is weighing so far. There it is. Sorry, it got put on a different shelf than I'm used to. Okay. Alright, here we go. turn this down here so you guys can see. I'm gonna set this on. Okay, so I think we're at 2 pounds, 8 ounces there, so 2.5 pounds. And then this big guy, gotta make sure I put it on there without it touching the table. I'll hang it off the edge here. And 2 pounds, 5 ounces. So I'd guess it'd probably be around 5 pounds, a little under 5 pounds total. So, but that's because we're doing it with the like steel tube for the base of the handle. Now, for those of you that are just joining, before I mentioned that we're doing it with a steel handle. We're gonna show you how to do that. I'll probably also just build one just straight out of foam, so that way you guys have the option. If you're just trying to build the hilt, you can just build it out of foam, have it look really cool, super legit, and use the pattern for that. Otherwise, you can do it the way we're doing it, which is going all out, and we're adding soundboard, motion control, battery powered, LEDs running up the whole blade to light it all up. We want it to look exactly like we're just holding the Darksaber right out of the shows. Basically taking that cartoon version of the Darksaber, making it real life, so that when we have it like on camera or in person, it just looks like we're holding the legit Darksaber, right? So, so yeah, this is what I've got of the hilt so far. I've been working on that. That's what we're going to continue to work on after we kind of get through showing you the progress so far. We'll just continue to work on this, adding the details and things. I'm going to adjust the handle. So this is just me patterning stuff out. The hilt is actually going to just end right here. We haven't cut the steel down yet. So, I mean, this is actually probably twice as long as what it would be. So it would probably be less than 5 pounds. Because cut this in half, it's only going to be 1 pound. And then 2 pounds for the acrylic. So probably around 3.5 pounds total. Anyway, but yeah, so it's coming together there, and I'm just so excited about this. Like, thanks to Myron making it possible on the electronic side. He knows so much more about the electronic side, voltage and watts and powering things and soldering things and all that stuff. And so he's playing around with the lights tonight, getting those figured out. And like, I wouldn't have even known that we could do a soundboard and you know, the motion control too, so that when we swing it, it makes like the whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. And we're gonna try to find / get somehow the Darksaber sound, because most, you know, sound controllers and things like that that you're gonna get are just the traditional lightsaber sound, but the Darksaber has that different sound to it, you know. So we're gonna try to see if we can't figure out how to get that sound and add the couple different, like, you know, striking sounds and things like that. Hopefully, for those of you that have seen Rebels, hopefully our little fight between Kanan Jarrus and Sabine with the Darksaber can lend us some good sound effects, hopefully, without too much talking. But anyway, so we're hoping we can get all that to work, so that when you kind of swing it, it does the different sounds, and it has kind of that like Darksaber hum. And we're gonna have the lights animated, so when you light it up, it's gonna go like light up the blade, going up like you would with an actual Darksaber blade. Let's see, we got some comments here. Much Prop said, working on finishing touches for tomorrow's build. It is out of What the Foam, and it is from Subnautica. Nice. Yeah, guys, check out his channel if you have not. Much Props. He's amazing, and he's always putting out great builds, so you'll never be bored if you subscribe to his channel. Out past curfew, some will get shaved off the blade and maybe about 1/3 off the handle. Yeah, that's true too. So we're gonna, once we glue these together, we're gonna be shaving off the you know, edges to a bevel, so we'll lose some of that weight too. That's a good point. I would guess probably gonna end up being around 3 pounds. But I love the fact that it's gonna be heavier. When we were thinking about just trying to make the handle out of like 3D printing or out of foam or something like that, we're just like, it's not gonna have much of a heft to it. And I'm all about trying to like, I want it to kind of feel real in my hands too, which is part of it. And with like, they always, whenever somebody holds a lightsaber for the first time or something like that, they're usually like, oh, it's heavier than I thought it would be, or wow, this is really heavy kind of thing. And so I think having kind of this weight to the hilt will also help counterbalance the blade, as we found out. This blade is quite heavy, and it's actually heavier than this technically. But some of the acrylic will be down in the blade, so that I think it will be pretty well balanced. So that'll be pretty sweet. But yeah, so that'll be awesome. We got this awesome Darksaber print off of Thingiverse, I think. And Myra and Hurrian 3D printed it, so we kind of had this as like a little bit of a reference. We're making it larger to be able to accommodate electronics and everything like that, but this is a really nice print. I haven't glued all the pieces together, but I think one of the kids, my youngest, was swinging it around. He loves swords, and he saw this. He's almost 2, and he was just probably like swinging it around. He was like, "Wee, wee, wee." He likes to sword fight with anything that looks like it could relatively be a sword. He'll even just use his fingers and go like tsh, 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 and sword fight with you. So, but yeah. Anyway, so we thought about 3D printing it hollow, so we could get it exactly the size that we needed and that kind of stuff. But we just, none of it felt like it would be sturdy enough to handle the acrylic safely, and also too, I just wanted it to be good and solid and have that heft to it like a real lightsaber. So let's see, we got some comments. John Patterson, I love your quick tips, and you are one of the most talented makers I've watched. Thank you, John. That is so awesome. I love to hear that those videos are being appreciated. Olivia, who's now entering, actually, it was her idea to start doing those, and when she said it, I was like, oh my goodness, that's genius, to do those quick tip clip videos. And
you're so funny. Anytime people are always like, Olivia's genius, and I'm like,
she is. Anyway, but I'm so glad to hear that they're helpful, and thank you so much for that wonderful compliment. It really means a lot to me to hear that these videos are helpful and that it's working for you. And we'll keep doing them as long as you keep watching. So thank you so much for your support. We really appreciate it. Tomorrow's is going to be really good, John. If you've been following along with the patterning series, let's see. We got comments in the way, but right over here behind Olivia is kind of a look at what tomorrow's video is, which is on patterning bulkier items, because we kind of talked about how you can easily just pattern something right off of your shoulder or arm when it's something that's like form-fitting. But if it's something that's bigger, like Samus cosplay or something like that,
isn't as big.
Yeah.
As that.
I didn't take the time to try to get everything all perfect. I was just trying to show off the idea, and so I didn't make it as big and exact as it needed to be here. But yeah, it's a great little tutorial on the technique I use that I kind of just came up with for being able to do build like bigger pieces or things that are unusual and don't just fit to your face kind of thing, or your arm or shoulder, that kind of stick off, or bulkier or like non-human shapes that you need to kind of build out and get like a wolf nose or something like that. I don't know, but really handy technique, works for pretty much anything. You can use that technique for building like for making patterning, sewing pattern stuff, like clothing type of things that you need to have a certain shape in the material, as well as EVA foam, Warbler, any of those type of things. So the basket build out method, tomorrow's video. Thank you so much again, John. I appreciate it. You're real. Woo, the Darksaber is gonna be so cool. I know.
It's gonna be really cool.
I'm so excited. Holy cow. It's gonna be amazing.
I feel like it's one of our more intense, the most intense props.
Yeah, definitely the most intense prop that we've done, for sure.
Well, I just watch you do it.
Like, we integrated some electronics into the Voltron helmet, and into the Black Panther helmet. Um, but aside from that, I haven't done a whole lot in the electronics
Well,
world.
besides the door.
Well, yeah, except for our Star Wars door entrance into the thing, into this workshop. So I have really bright lights here, but you can still see kind of that lighting up purple on the Black Panther helmet. And we've got a tutorial on this if you guys are just joining the channel, so feel free to check that out. But so yeah, I ventured into it a little bit and stuff, but aside from doing all the like the lighting effects behind here, and then the
Door.
the door, the Star Wars door entrance into the workshop, which is, you want to flip it on? They can see the
Yeah,
lights.
I mean, I feel like
Most of you guys have already seen this, but for anybody that hasn't, we'll just light it up for you real quick.
It is kind of funny when you nonchalantly do it to someone who you thought has seen it before, and they're like, "What?
They're like, "What's that?"
It's in your house?"
Do you want to close it too?
Oh yeah, sorry.
No, you're good.
You can
Third
see
one.
it.
Anyway, there you go. So yeah, but I learned anything that we did on that. Mostly it was Myron, and what I do know is from having worked on that with Myron to build that. So, but yeah, so I'm super excited. I'm learning a ton. Myron's teaching me a ton about electronics, and we're working with some materials outside of the norm of just foam. But we're also going to make this, like I said, in a way where you can just build it out of foam.
Yeah.
Yourself. You can integrate the electronics into it to an extent. Do your blade in a different, lighter way, or just paint it, or light it up a little bit differently, or something like that to be a lighter weight prop. But yeah, we're going all out. Our family motto is go big, or go home and watch Netflix. So that's what we do. Usually we go big and then also go home and watch Netflix.
And then you binge.
And then you get binge watching stuff, and then you don't finish the thing you were trying to make. Red Linguini, Rolando said, "It looks great, thank you." Red Linguini said, "I've wanted to make one of these for a while." Well, perfect. We're gonna actually, our scheduled release for this build, when it's all complete, is we're shooting for the 17th of February. So
Which is his birthday.
which is my birthday. So hopefully you guys will all tune in and watch the video and give me lots of comments and birthday wishes, because it'll also be my birthday. But we'll be releasing it on the 17th of February. And once again too, just for you guys that are here, little inside scoop. We will once again be offering the pattern for free for like the first day or two, for everybody that watches the video, and you'll just find the keyword coupon code thing somewhere.
We'll make it a little more
somewhere
fair.
in the video. We'll make it a little bit easier to find this time.
We confused a couple people.
We got lots of comments about it though.
Well, that was
Comments
good.
are good, so
Yeah, keep commenting.
if we make it easier to find, still comment.
We're gonna make it really difficult to find. You're gonna have to flat out ask like 3 times.
But anyway, you just find that, watch the whole video so you can find that keyword, and then you'll go to the link in the description and you can get the pattern for free for the first day or two. So make sure you're subscribed so you get notified right away, so you're not finding that video after that first day or two. So anyway, what were we talking about? Oh yeah, perfect. So yeah, Red Linguini, if you're wanting to make one, we're going to have the pattern all put together for you. So just, if you're
We better
okay
get
to
this
wait,
done.
if you're okay to wait, what, a week and a half?
Oh my gosh, we need to get this.
We need to finish this. Anyway.
Much props. It's like, what? I'll have like 3 videos out by then.
Yeah. Thomas is like, okay, well, I'll have like 3 or 4 videos out before the 17th. So what's the game plan for cosplay on the down low at work?
Okay, so our fandom bound, we haven't really figured it out yet. I keep going back to Zelda, so
Yeah, we should do a Zelda one.
it would be fun. I just don't know what I have, because sometimes I plan them out like way in advance and will like get stuff for it, but sometimes it's just on the fly.
Yeah, so if we do Zelda though, I don't have like any green in my closet. So for those of you that aren't familiar with what we're talking about, we started this thing called Fandom Bound Friday. We basically were like wanting to cosplay more, but we only go to so many cons in the year, but we also don't want to have to try to make full cosplays and like, I don't know, like just dress up at home for fun. Like, I guess, like, I don't know,
Well,
we could do that too, but.
Like, some people whip out cosplays, but, like, we have little kids.
Yeah, with 3 kids and stuff, it's harder to get things done faster. Yeah, so working the day job full time, and then between kids and stuff, I don't get full cosplays done as quickly. And so we're like, we need to be able to take advantage of the fact that I am at work every day doing this, like, day-to-day job. And we thought about how we did the Disney bounds when we went to Disneyland. We did like a Peter Pan theme, and it was way fun. And we're like, well, how about what if I just dressed up like on like a certain day of the week and went to work?
Find a picture of it.
Yeah, she'll pull up a picture. But dressed up a certain day of the week and just like kind of did like a secret cosplay. And if you guys aren't familiar with Disney bounding, or now what we're calling fandom bounding, because we expanded it beyond just any Disney show or Disney characters. We want it to be applied to whatever you want, whatever your favorite fandom is. So we're calling it fandom bounding. The idea is that you try to capture the essence of the character just in normal clothes. So like when you go to Disneyland, you can't dress up as a full character because they have like the licensed actual characters and everything there, and they don't want any kind of like lawsuits with somebody dressed up as one of their characters doing something crazy at Disneyland. Kids can dress up, but adults can't. And so they this thing called Disney bounding kind of started, where you kind of dress up as the character just by like capturing the essence of that character in your like in normal clothes, kind of like normal styles, modern styles and stuff like that. And so we're like, hey, let's do that. There's like tons of cosplayers, everybody all over the place. They're going to their day jobs, doing work and things like that, and they can join in with us on this. We'll do it every Friday, Fandom Bound Friday. And so
I think I found it. I'm just trying to find a good one of me, basically.
Anyway, but yeah, so we did a Star Wars theme. So we just kind of pick a theme for us. So she does it, fandom bounding, momming it at home with the kids, and then I fandom bound at going to work, and on every Friday.
Well,
so we've done. You can just pull up one of our recent ones. If you go to Instagram, you'll see them.
I also put all of them in our stories on Instagram.
Oh, sweet.
I'll just like zoom in because my mom's whatever.
Yeah.
That's
so anyway, I don't know if you guys can see, but we did like a Peter Pan themed one. So I was Captain Hook.
It's really fuzzy.
I don't know how to get it to focus on it for you guys, but anyway, I was Captain Hook. Our oldest was Peter Pan. Olivia was Wendy, and then we had Michael and John with the other two. So he's in pink, if you can tell. He's holding a little teddy bear. Anyway, so super fun. The last couple of weeks we've done Star Wars, How to Train Your Dragon, Pokemon, and Marvel, Captain America, and Iron Man. So we did Astrid and Hiccup, Rey and Kylo Ren, Squirtle and Jigglypuff. Anyway, it's super fun. We hope you guys will join in with us. If you do, just make sure to like tag me at Cosplay Apprentice or at Cosplay Apprentice on Twitter, Cosplay Apprentice on Instagram, and just for sure use the hashtag Fandom Bound Friday, and we'll totally share if you guys post it and tag us. We'll share it. We'll ask you if we can, and then we'll share it on our stories or on as a post, and just share it with everybody else so they can see how cool your stuff is too. But yeah, so yeah, the great question. Much props. You're going to be joining us this Friday, right?
Yeah, he said that he's all ready to go.
Sweet, awesome. Yeah, so I guess we're gonna do Zelda. I'll just have to do like
we're not really sure yet.
I'll do like the fire tunic or the water tunic or something.
Yeah, you could do that. I'm just not sure.
Because I don't have any green. Green would be perfect, but we'll figure something good out. Uriel said, "I love your quick tip clip. They're so helpful and make cosplay so fun." Oh, good. Thank you. Thanks for tuning in so much, Uriel. You've been awesome. You've been here on the live streams and everything, and we really appreciate it.
I know. I'll be Navi, and then just all day long to my kids, will be like, "Hey, listen! Hey, listen!"
They'll love that.
I do that anyway.
Yeah, basically, you just will be saying it in a Navi voice.
We'll be like, "Hey, listen!" I'm nice to my children. Sometimes.
Thank you, Uriel. I really appreciate it. I'm so glad that you're enjoying them. We'll keep making them. We've got a lot of great ones coming up this month. that I think will be really helpful for everybody. And it's been so handy because this month we've taken so many of the comments you guys have told us of what your greatest challenges are in cosplaying or working with foam or whatever it is you're dealing with in the crafting aspects. And we've been creating the videos based on those to answer those questions and help you out and other people that have had those same questions. So, Welby, hey, how's it going? Skylar and Mrs. Skylar.
Hello.
Olivia. Red Linguini, do you sew costumes, and if so, how did you get started? Oh, that's a great question. So, am I able to flip the camera? I am able to flip the camera. Cool. So let me show you.
I was kind of wondering if you could just integrate that into a fandom bound Friday so you didn't have to do it.
That's true. So I sewed all of this. And how I got started, it's probably a little unusual story. I had my mom, I asked her, I was in high school, and I wanted to make a vest for prom, my own vest. And my mom and dad my dad was like, "You're gonna make your own vest? Why don't you just rent one? Or why don't you just buy one?" And I was like, "No, I want to make one." And they're like, and my dad's kind of like, "Is it gonna look good enough to wear to prom?" You know, and my mom's like, "Okay, well, I'll teach you how to use the sewing machine." It just taught me like a basic stitch kind of thing. And I didn't know anything about patterning, anything. I'm like, all right, well, I should probably take this vest that I do have, and kind of just trace the shapes that it has on there, and like it just kind of patterned out this thing, and like I'm like, this one doesn't fit quite, like it's a little bit wider on me, I want it to be slimmer fitting, so I like brought it in a little bit. I just kind of like played around, figured it out. I ended up wearing it to prom. It looked pretty decent. I just got like whatever materials I had, so I don't know how quality it was as far as that goes or anything, but I wore it to prom. My friend, I lent it to him to wear to a like homecoming dance or something.
But I think that for now, your advice would probably be.
But yeah, I would like, the YouTube is amazing. Yeah, support those YouTubers all day long. I want to learn more because like I've only done like basic stitching stuff, and I probably am doing half the things wrong. And so I actually need to learn more on sewing, and that's something I want to pursue more. And eventually I want to have like a series on the channel where I actually have somebody that knows a ton about sewing come in and like kind of teach me as we're teaching you some tips and tricks and things like that. Because this is the Cosplay Apprentice. I'm always learning. You guys are always learning. We're all learning together, right? So, but yeah, so I kind of just trial and error for me, but YouTube wasn't fully a thing at the time. Mm-mm. Oh yeah, it wasn't at all. Like YouTube started in 2009.
Yeah, I didn't learn about it until
so that was after we were out of high school. But anyway, so yeah, and then just kind of practice trial and error. Really good reference images for that build, but yeah, just kind of learning the basics and then going from there. I learned a little bit more from my sister when she went to 4-H and did like some sewing class thing, and learned how to sew some pajama pants. Anyway, just a little bit at a time, and just kind of built on it. But yeah, great question. Okay, let's see. Sorry, I'm a little bit behind here. Here we go. John, is there a pattern for this build? I'd love to get my hands on it. Yes, John. So if you weren't here, for those of you, anybody else that joined in, we will be releasing the pattern with this video on the 17th on the full build of the Darksaber. And for those of you that are subscribed and get notified right away, so make sure you hit the notification. Make sure you hit subscribe and hit the bell notification and select all so that you get notified every time we put something up, because the first day that video is out, possibly the second day, we will be offering that pattern for free. Usually I charge for my patterns because I spend like usually almost 100 hours putting the pattern together, because I want to make it so that anybody, regardless of their artistic skill or background in crafting or anything like that, can take the pattern and make something that they're super excited about and super proud of, and that just looks spot on. And it's really cool. Several people have made the hiccup helmet, right there, and done it in. So it took me like 90 hours, 90 something hours to make the template,
this is why
the
we
pattern
don't
and everything.
Because I everything.
And I make them super spot on. Get every detail the best I can and everything like that. But then also it's not just patterning like you normally would. I also have to digitize it, but then also make it as easy as possible for anybody to do it. But anyway, so a couple people that bought it, they like all of a sudden they bought it, and then like within like a day, they're like text me or send me messages on Instagram. Hey, look at my progress. This is so great. And it's like all done almost. I'm like, how long did you spend on that? They're like 6 hours.
He showed me a picture and I thought it was his.
Yeah, I showed her and she's like,
where is this?
She's like, when did you take this picture? And I'm like, that's not me. It's another guy that made it.
Like,
but anyway, it's so cool to see that like that time is so worth it when I see those pictures and like somebody says, I was able to make this in 6 hours or in a weekend. And I, don't have that much background in crafting or anything, and I'm so excited about this. One guy won a cosplay contest with the hiccup helmet that he made from my pattern with the rest of the costume that he made, and I was like, yeah, that's so awesome. Anyway, super cool. But yeah, so make sure that you guys subscribe so that you get notified when this video comes out, and you'll be able to find the keyword in the video to get it for free within the first day or so that the video's out. So. Great question. Thanks for bringing that up again, John. I appreciate it. Much props. Got my stuff laid out to be Homer Simpson tomorrow. Sweet.
I love it. I'm so excited.
I'm so excited. So once again, he's talking about Fandom Bound Friday. Make sure to join us. Leia's been joining us as well. She just said, I have plans for a Zelda one as well, but right now I'm hand stitching a shirt for tomorrow.
I'm so excited. I can't
You are
wait.
so awesome. Oh my goodness. She has done some really cool stuff. She like has customized a couple shirts for her Fandom Bound Fridays recently, and did this one with like this dragon on it that was like amazing. And I wasn't familiar with the fandom, but then she showed me a picture and I was like, that's perfect. That's so awesome.
Yeah, that was fun.
But yeah, so that's so fun. Let's see. I might be putting a bit too much effort into Fandom Bound Friday.
No, you're
No,
not.
you're not. We are doing the same thing.
We're enjoying it.
Yes, we're enjoying it. We're doing the same thing. I bought a leather jacket to use for my
And now he's trying to figure
Hiccup.
out how we can like.
for my hiccup Fandom Bound, but it didn't get here
Yeah,
until the
that's
day after.
after.
And so I had to wear another one that I had that wasn't quite the right color. But I love this jacket, and I'm like, I got to figure out more ways I can integrate that. But yeah, we're getting way into it too. John, that would be a good base for a large hero armor too.
I think he's talking about this guy.
Oh yeah, yeah, totally. Yeah, so make sure to check out the quick tip video tomorrow, because I'll go through how we did it in like 20 minutes. We patterned that out or something like that.
20 to 30 minutes.
20 to 30 minutes, but we were filming the process and talking to camera
takes
too.
longer.
So, but yeah, so super easy to be able to do in tandem with the silhouetting technique that we just quick tip that we came out with, and the. Can you grab that other one that's underneath that? And then the proportions techniques that I told you today, you can use. So this is the silhouetting technique. Helps you to be able to, you kind of like block out what the actual just silhouette outline of the object is that you're patterning, so that you don't get distracted by all the details and all the layers on top of it. You just figure out, hey, what's the base layer? What does that look like? Scribble it all in, black it out with a Sharpie so that you can focus on just that silhouette kind of thing. Now, like I said, I didn't spend a ton of time getting this like perfect or near as big as it should be and that kind of thing. I just quickly did it to try to give you guys the idea of how to do this technique in the video. But I've found this to be so helpful when you just focus on that base layer, getting that put together first, so that and just get that silhouette, that look of the piece, so that it has the right shape and the right base to start from. Then from there, it's way easier to add your layers, get all the details, and there's just something in the way our minds see things, in kind of like the shapes. Our mind immediately like sees the outline of something and can tell what it is. You know what I mean? And so when they see that outline of that and that base is solid, then they're like, that is spot on, just like right off the bat. Even if you didn't get all the details perfect or anything, or you have it's messed up in different places, that base shape is so important in getting that really good spot on look. But then from there, then the perspective or proportions, tips and tricks that I gave in the video yesterday. Today's video. Go check that out.
It's been a long day.
Has been a long day. Helps a ton as well. That helps you to kind of figure out, well, how big do I do that? You know, like how far up off of this arm is this actually sticking? And that kind of thing. And so you can use those proportion techniques that I go through in the video to take, hey, on this piece of paper, it's, you know, this far out. How far out that is that in real life off of my shoulder, right? And be able to kind of get some good, pretty relatively accurate guesstimates onto what that is, and then you can just adjust it slightly from there to make sure that you're getting the look you want. But anyway, in tandem with those two videos, this next one is super awesome because it's where you apply these two and you build that base out to really get that base shape looking exactly how you want. And then we'll have another video coming out Monday or Tuesday, I think, that's on layering. So then doing the next part of that. Once you've got that base, how do you then plan for your layers? How do you account for the thickness of foam, etc., right?
Hi, Zuli.
Oh, Zuli's on. Hey, how's it going?
We call you Zuli. Zuli Michelle. Is it? Never mind. Hi, Zuli.
I think she's asking, are we okay to just call you Zuli, or should we be saying your full name? Right? Is that what you're...
I'll just call you Zuli. Don't want to invade your privacy.
So yeah, oh, John said, freaking awesome. Do you think that cosplay is for kids? Like solely for kids? No. I think, I mean, the kids like to dress up, but I like to dress up just as much. But I think that it's a really fun way for us to bond with our kids and stuff. And so when we go to like Comic-Con and stuff, like we love to get them dressed up and, you know, and dress up and things like that. And I think it makes them feel like really cool that we're doing a similar thing that they like doing.
I think we go more all out for Halloween on them.
Yeah, that's true.
With like building stuff, but because for a con they need to be comfortable and stuff like that.
Yeah,
but
need
also,
to be able to go to the bathroom.
When I was Wonder Woman,
it was really hard to maintain kids
it was
in
hard
costume.
because I wasn't having as much fun. Because I'm mom, you know, so to cosplay with your kids, they have to be a certain age.
Yeah, I think as they get a little bit older, it'll be a lot more fun to have them kind of craft and build some of their stuff as well, and that'll be really fun to get them more involved. Right now, at this point, the way we do it is we'll go like of the 3-day con. We'll do 1 day with the kids, and I'm just kind of like dressed as the cosplay apprentice with my apron and stuff.
And I'll throw a tiara on or something.
Yeah, we'll just do something simple. And then we'll go with the kids and we'll kind of focus on all the kid stuff that's there, take them to the kid con section and all that. And then after that, on the Friday, so we'll do that like the Thursday or do that the Friday. And then we'll do 1 day where we just go, we have somebody watch the kids and we just go and like dress up and have fun and just get to walk around and see everything and do all the stuff we want to do. And then part of it too depends on what days I'm doing panels and presentations and stuff at it as well. But yeah, pretty much lately I've been like, it's been harder for me to fully cosplay at the conventions because when I like to do full demo, like workshop type of presentation panels instead of just like sitting there answering questions kind of thing. And like, but I really get everybody involved and I'm answering questions as I'm like making a full helmet or something like that. And it's hard to do in a full cosplay sometimes. So I've kind of just been doing the Cosplay Apprentice cosplay for a lot of those. But yeah, we love doing it with the kids and making stuff for them. It's so fun because like they'll just come up to me all the time. Dad, can you make a cheetah outfit out of FOMO? And I'm like, well, I don't think that will be the best material for it. But they think that FOMO is like...
Can do anything.
Can do it. It's like the end-all be-all material that can create anything. He wanted a cheetah costume that he could actually, would make him be able to run faster. And he
Out of FOMO.
Out of FOMO. Yeah, so... Thanks, John. Yeah, it'll be February 17th when we put out this video is my birthday. Thank you so much. Let's see. February is a great time to have a birthday. Mine is the 22nd. Awesome, sweet. Fellow February birthday, Red Linguini.
Yeah. The day that this video, the Darksaber comes out. It's his.
Yes, yep, on the 17th. Leia said you need to watch the Outpost on CW. I'll have to check it out. Zuli, I'm sorry I couldn't make it on time.
Yeah,
No worries.
I just first popped up and I was excited to say.
Yeah, no worries. We're glad. Better late than never. We're glad you're here. What cons do I go to? So primarily, I've like only stuck with like local cons here. We have the big one, which is Salt Lake City Comic Con, or it used to be Salt Lake City Comic Con. Now they're calling it FanX. The people that were running it kind of antagonized San Diego Comic Con a little bit, and then they got a lawsuit that happened, and they can't say that they're Salt Lake City Comic Con anymore. There's still stuff going on with it. Eventually we might be able to. But anyway, FanX now. Anyway, so that's like the big one. They have that twice a year. One in the spring and one in the fall. They're bringing it down to just once a year now this year, unfortunately. But then there's just several other local ones that
we're doing Wizarding Days.
That we'll go to. We're doing Wizarding Days. We're sponsoring the cosplay contest on that, giving away some awesome What the Foam and FOMO and Big Tubbo FOMO prizes to the winners and everything like that. So that'll be pretty sweet. But yeah, eventually we're wanting to expand out and go do some visit some others. I think we have to wait till our kids are a little bit older.
Well, I mean, I think the plan was that you were gonna do a couple this year, like you and Myron were gonna.
Yeah, and we might try to might try to go out and do some.
I'm more introverted, so I'm not too into a con, especially with little kids. I'm kind of like, where 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I have all of them, 1, 2, 3. But Skylar is very extroverted, so he loves a con.
Yeah. So I just saw a question from Welby. Is there a video for the duct tape dummy? Yes. So if you just go to Cosplay Apprentice on our channel on YouTube, click on videos, or go to the videos page or the something there, and you just scroll down. I think you can even search a channel specifically for a video. Type in duct tape dummy. It should pop up. I think even if you type in duct tape dummy mannequin or something like that on YouTube, you might find it as well. But yeah, definitely if you just look in our videos, you'll see it. It's got this guy in the thumbnail. And it worked out great. He's got removable arms and everything.
It's kind of scary to like walk in and there's like this Skylar standing there without a head.
And it's been so awesome to pattern on and everything. And just have it be like
we all match.
Yeah, look.
All 3 of us.
Yeah, so anyway, definitely we have a video on it and some techniques that we used on it that I haven't seen anybody else use, which is kind of fun, and it worked out really well. So I'm excited that we were able to figure that out. Going to cons with teens is so much easier than with little kids.
It sounds easier.
Yeah, definitely.
Especially if they have their own money.
Yeah, especially if they have their own. Yeah. We see Myron with his like teenager kids when we go, and he's just kind of like, okay, hey guys, go check out the stuff, and then meet back here at a certain time. And we're like,
what?
That's so easy. We're there.
Don't
We're like,
die. My phone number's written on your arm.
we're like corralling them the whole time. No, stay in the car. Like, stay in the stroller. We don't want you walking around. Like,
you can't have this.
We get to KidCon area and we're like, okay, now we can kind of see you. Go play, watch, like, go through the little
we're just
obstacle course.
Ourselves.
Anyway. Much Props asked, how long were you doing YouTube making before you started to get invited to be on panels at cons?
You just asked.
Yeah. So don't be afraid to like reach out. I just one time I was like, I just reached out to like their general support email or something like that, and I was like, hey, I've got a YouTube channel with a decent audience. What did I have at the time? It was
not what you have now.
It was less than what you got. Much Props. It was like 10,000.
Probably 10,000.
Yeah, yeah, I think 10 or 8, even 8. I don't remember. But I just reached out and was like, hey, I would love to, like, I'm local, to my local one, because they're all about like supporting locals and things like that too and stuff. So I reached out and was just like, hey, I would love to just be involved somehow in the thing. I've got a YouTube channel where I teach like how to make props and costumes and things like that. I don't know if there'd be any panels I could do, or if I could just like come and volunteer and help out somehow or something like that. But I've got a decent sized audience, and I'd love to like tell them about Comic Con and send them to come to it or that kind of thing. And surprisingly, like the person, whoever got it, actually forwarded it on to the right person, and they reached out and they're like, hey, yeah, we'd be like, do you have any ideas specifically for panels? And I was like, well, so, I have some now, like submitted them, and they're like, hey, we like a bunch of your ideas, so let's bring you on. And and then from there, once I got my foot in the door, then it's like I get in with them, and then they send out email to me every year saying, hey, send in your panel submission ideas. And then they usually end up picking at least one, if not
do 2 or 3.
3 or so of them. And I'm not always. Sometimes they'll pick one of mine, and then they'll put a whole nother panel on it, like like a panel of people answering questions in that category. They liked the idea of it, but I don't end up on it. But I'm just glad that I'm like, sweet, that's awesome. They picked mine. But yeah, so just like put yourself out there. Just like try to find contact info. Should I tell them the cool little trick?
Sure.
So there's a cool trick for trying to get the right person's email, and I don't know if it works for conventions necessarily. I haven't tried it specifically, but like if you're trying to reach a certain person at a specific business and that kind of thing, LinkedIn is great. If you have, the more connections you have on LinkedIn, the better, because if you have a third connection with somebody, like a third level connection, then you can actually see their name, like their position, title, stuff like that. And where that comes in handy is you can actually search on LinkedIn by like job title at a certain company kind of thing. And then if you have a third connection with any of those people, you can actually see their names. And then with their name, you find out how that company organizes their email address, whether it's like first name dot last name, or first initial of first name and then last name. However they organize it, you take that person's name, pop into that email format, and then they have like email checkers where you can check to see if an email is a real email.
So this sounds super sneaky.
And then if it confirms it's a real email, then you can just try sending them and say, hey, like and blah 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 blah. I thought I'd reach out.
Dan gave me your email. And I'm just kidding. Just have this whole elaborate story. We did a whole interview.
If you wanted to be really sneaky and lie, you could like look up their associates, people they work with that might be in the same department.
No.
But I wouldn't advise doing that. I'm saying if you wanted to actually be sneaky and lie, which I don't advise. That's not what I do. Just email them and just say, hey.
Well, you just emailed them in.
Yeah. I just emailed the support email for the con and some like just like amazing. It's happened to me several times where I just like throw something out there like, hey, I'm just gonna say this and see if they respond or if they even see this, and if something happens, that'll be great. Just kind of throw these lines out, So, let's see. Red Linguini said, that's my con too. That's awesome. Oh, really? Salt Lake City Comic Con's your con? FanX, I mean?
It's a hard transition.
It is a hard transition. We can all call it Comic Con, Salt Lake Comic Con. Just they can't.
You're gonna get a cease and desist letter.
Welby said, Ant?
Oh, he fixed it later.
Oh, okay. John, thanks for posting the pattern. I am a 52-year-old beginner maker. I'm loving it already. Awesome. Yeah, great. It's never too late to jump in and get going on stuff, for sure. That's great. I'm like, I think about it, I'm like, man, I'm going to just be like making costumes and YouTube videos and stuff till like forever. That's so awesome. That's exciting. I'm so glad you're having a great time. That's what it's all about. Sorry, not Ant. Meant to say, is there any chance coming up north for Fan Expo in Toronto? I would love to. We want to go up to Canada so bad. And so maybe we'll have to try to plan that. We want to go up and visit Chris from Lost Wax up there in Canada, wherever he is.
Canada. It's Canada, right?
It's just Canada. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, I just don't know where he is in relation to Toronto or anything. But that would be sweet if we could make something like that work.
It's like British people being like, "We'll go to Disneyland and see the Empire State Building," or
yeah, probably. We'll go to Disneyland in California, and while we're there, we'll go see the Empire State Building in New York. Yeah, no, totally. I would love to. We want to try to expand out and go start visiting some other cons. We're just trying to figure out how to make that work. And maybe what I need to do is just do the same thing. Send a bunch of emails out to the different conventions and be like, hey, so I've done these panels
just quit your
at other
job.
conventions. Part of it is, yeah, the daytime job, being able to get away. As a con worker, anyone can submit a panel. Oh, sweet. So yeah, there you go. You get in as a volunteer. You get on that list and submit a panel. And if
but I think it does help to have some sort of a following if you want
yeah,
to do.
Yeah, it definitely did. That's what
thing.
That's what got me in my foot in the door for sure. Like I think the reason that person forwarded it on was they're like, oh hey, this person actually has a pretty large group, pretty large subscriber base, and they're local. Like that's awesome. Let's bring them in. You know. I had someone reach out to me recently to one in South Dakota, far away from Texas. Kind of took me back. That's awesome, man. That's so cool. Yeah, I was born in North Dakota. And yeah, it just makes me cold thinking about it. I only lived there for 6 months. I don't remember any of it.
I don't remember any of it. I do.
Yeah, what did you say to him, Thomas? That's awesome. Sneaky. It's not really like too sneaky. It's just being smart, I think. Like not doing the sneaky stuff where you're like lying and trying to say like, oh, so and so gave me like... somebody gave me your info that like your coworker John, like you know.
You know John. We had lunch
John.
The other day. He wonders how your mother's doing.
It's a Comic-Con to the long-time goers. I've been to all of them since the beginning. Nice.
Have you been to any panels of Skies?
Yeah, that's a great question. I haven't been doing panels. I think we went, the second year?
Yeah.
The second year. We missed the first year, but I think we went the second year. And then I was like, this is amazing. I have to do this.
This is a lot of people.
And then I created my YouTube channel and then like just started like learning and building and showing people stuff and everything. And then I ended up getting to be a panelist at it. It was so cool. But yeah, that's awesome. That's crazy. Small world. I want Lost Wax to be my friend. His stuff is so awesome. He is amazing, and he is the coolest person ever.
Nice.
He is so nice. I want to be his friend too. Chris, if you're watching this, you got a couple.
He's like, I thought we were friends.
Yeah, I mean, I would say we're friends. I hope that he feels the same. Sure, it's just Canada. Up here, we know everyone. Perfect. Do you know Chris?
You know Chris, right?
Yeah, no. I actually did get that though when I was in France, and I would say I was American. I'd get like French, like teenagers, 18 college age, and a little bit younger, be like, "Do you know Paris Hilton?" And I'm like, "Yeah, totally." Like, no, I don't. I'm sorry. I know of them. They're like, "Do you know Justin Bieber?"
I'm like, well, he's Canadian. So ask Welby.
Yeah, Welby knows Justin Bieber.
Right? Am I right? I think he's Canadian.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Maybe.
I feel like he's. I don't know.
Welby can tell us.
I feel like I don't know.
Uriel, do you make most of your props from foam? I do. I started out actually making a lot of them with moldable thermoplastic. Much Props and I both are big fans of polyplastics. He actually started making a bunch of YouTube videos for them, and I partially designed their packaging for their products for them. Anyway, but yeah, so like some of these pieces and additions and stuff onto this for the Han Solo blaster. We're done with the multiple thermoplastic stuff. Same with the Kylo Ren lightsaber. So I started off with a lot of thermoplastic stuff. This again here, this frozen Arendelle lightsaber is also done with a bunch of thermoplastics. Here as well. Basically, a lot of the props you see back there. I started off doing a lot with thermoplastics, and then I discovered foam and how amazing it is, and I've been like full out foam for pretty much everything. There's definitely a place. It's good to know like a bunch of the materials because there's some areas where one would definitely work better than the other, and it also depends on what you're wanting to do with it. And for con safe props and things like that, foam is like hard to beat. Lightweight. You're not likely to have it be taken away from you unless you made a full functioning bow out of PVC pipe or something like that.
Which he made me for my birthday.
Which I did, yeah.
It's beautiful.
It's pretty cool.
He stained it. It's beautiful.
Anyway, that's not foam though. That's PVC pipe. Anyway, you're not likely to have something taken away as easily with foam compared to like heavier like plastics and that kind of stuff. Sometimes depending on how intense they are. But yeah, so I do a lot with foam now. It's like my definite go-to. And now with What the Foam, it's like the perfect combination of the two. Foam and thermoplastics combined into one beautiful product. I think we have that. We've quoted somebody saying that, right?
Someone.
I'm pretty sure.
Oh, was it on our packaging?
Oh yeah, we put the testimonial right on our packaging. So it says
It's gonna be backwards.
Oh, is
for
it
us.
backwards for you guys?
I think. No, wait, no, it's not.
Oh, okay. Anyway, it says, What the Foam is the best of EVA and thermoplastics packed into one insanely awesome sheet of cosplay goodness. The person that said that was Future You. So, yeah.
So
They're
can't
awesome.
Wait to hear you say that.
Future You is amazing, and we love any testimonial we get from Future You. Anyway, sorry. I'm cheesy, but it's cool.
It's cool.
I want you to come to the Expo Comic Con in Guatemala. That would be awesome.
Aw, that'd be so
That would be
fun.
so cool. I would love that. Oh man. Okay, we're gonna have to start seriously, like looking at. We should write these down.
Well, doesn't Brazil do something really big too?
Yeah, probably.
Myron's like, let's do it.
Yes, are you writing these down, Myron? We got to go to Guatemala. What was the name of it? Expo Comic Con in Guatemala, and then we also got to go to the Fan Expo in Toronto. So, yeah. Okay, I don't know when, but we're gonna try to make these happen.
Myron's like, I'm in.
Do you make most of your props from foam? Okay, I answered that one. Really wanted to watch his panel last spring and was sad when I realized I missed it. Oh man. Shoot, well, hopefully. It's not till September.
No, it feels so far away.
It's like, it would normally feel so close. We're like, oh, we're 2 months out. But yeah, I'm hoping that they just make it super big though.
Yeah.
Like, they gotta, if they're gonna combine kind of the
Even
budget
though
from
it's
both.
so far away, it's like such a big thing at our house that like, of like getting ready for his panels and getting costume, like getting our cosplays ready and stuff, that it's kind of like,
It's nice to know
it's
there's a
nice
little
to
bit
know
more
that
time.
it's once and we can make a really big deal out of it.
Yeah, that's true.
But then we need to find some other cons, so.
Yeah, they'll probably have more panels available too. My guess is like, I would hope that they would do it bigger. I mean, they've got to if they're only going to condense it to one, in my opinion. But anyway,
The problem is we'll go to Guatemala, Zuli, and we won't speak the language and we'll look like idiots.
It's true. We'll need to have Zuli there to like
She'll be
show
our-
us the ropes and
She'll be our
communicate
guide.
for us. It's in September, and I said I would need more info to commit. He said he was submitting my name as a potential speaker. I asked my principal if it would be okay to take multiple days off. Dude, that's so cool.
Like props, you should just do FanX here with us and stay with us.
Yeah. Yeah, seriously though, Thomas, like if you want to come to this one, and I could get you the contact info to who to reach out to submit for panel ideas, and you got yourself out here, you'd have a place to stay. Um, and you could see my cool Star Wars door.
It might wake you up in the middle of the night.
The compressor might go off in the middle of the night, and the guest room is right next to the compressor. So
Our guests are terrified. Just kidding, I unplug it.
Actually, I know Justin's aunt. Wait, really?
Are you serious? Okay, but...
Okay, we're pretty gullible, so. But do you really? Okay. Oh, wow, I'm so far behind on the chat. Sorry, guys. Yeah, I'll translate for you. Perfect. Yeah, if you'll be there, I'd really like to watch. I'm sad it's the only one, but partially glad so I can get my costume ready. Yeah, I'm feeling that same way, actually, because with everything else I'm trying to do, my Hiccup cosplay is progressing very slowly, and I have big plans for it, and I wouldn't have it done by spring, for sure. But I can probably have it done for September, and I'm gonna have like fully functioning wings that like pop out and then like reel back in like he does in the movie. And I'm saying this, and I'm confidently saying it because I'm gonna make it happen. And then I'm also gonna have like his little slider thing on his gauntlet that just like pops out the little fins on the side, like spring-loaded kind of thing. And I want to make his fire sword that like looks like it's on fire, but also is retractable, but also on the other side can shoot out a green smoke. So, yeah.
So you better be able to sell a lot of What the Foam.
So we need you guys.
Quit your job.
We need you guys to buy lots of What the Foam and FOMO and watch all of our videos so that I can do this full time and then make my whole costume by September.
That's the sole purpose.
That's what we need you guys' help with.
Or just hang out with us and be our friends.
Much Prop said, "Oh snap! Yeah, we're for reals, dude."
You'll also have 3 children waking up in the morning, so
Yeah.
this might sound not so appealing.
we don't want to scare him off. Yes, seriously. Oh, really? That's so funny. What are the odds? He actually does know Justin's aunt.
Oh, that's so funny. Well, your uncle, I have known nothing about Justin Bieber, but his uncle fell asleep somewhere.
Oh yeah.
In a hotel or something, and Justin
Was it
Bieber
in New York?
snapped a selfie. Yeah, it was in New York.
Yeah. So my uncle was in New York, and he was at a hotel, and he was just sitting in the lobby, I think, and he fell asleep. I don't know what he was waiting for. Like, I guess he was staying at the hotel. Maybe he was waiting for somebody to, like, he was supposed to meet somebody or something. Anyway, he fell asleep in the lobby, and Justin Bieber's walking through that same lobby, and he sees he's asleep, and he like snapped a selfie with him asleep. So apparently, like.
So we've come full circle with your aunt and his uncle.
Yeah, with you knowing his aunt, and then my uncle was in a selfie with him. So, I guess we kind of do know Justin Bieber. But yeah, Ridley Guini, yeah, totally. I'm positive I'll be in another panel. They tend
We're close with them.
Yeah, we're pretty close with them, and they've performed really well. Like, basically, whenever I do my big like demo build panel, it's like standing room only, and they have to turn people away. So I don't think they would cut me. But they are trying to like look for like new content and stuff. So I'll have to freshen it up a little bit. But yeah, I'm pretty confident I'll be able to get into ones. But yeah, definitely come to the panel and come say hi afterwards. I usually always hang out in the hallway and like answer more questions afterwards. And we can take a picture and stuff. That would be awesome. He said I'm a teacher. I deal with screaming teens all the time. Hey Ignacio, what's up? Welcome. How's it all going? In what cosplay are you working on? Oh, yes. We're working on the
we're working.
We're working on it. We've been solidly working on this steadily.
Slaving our way in.
We're working on the Darksaber. So just a quick recap for any of those that got here late. Some of you that have already seen this, it'll be a quick recap. But here's what I have patterned out for the hilt so far. It's gonna get cut off right here, so don't think that the hilt is like this long, because it's not. Though, sorry, this will be new for those of you. I mean, that one. So we were going off of the measurements on Wikipedia, and some of you guys saw this already last week, but
It's just so big.
so we ordered this based on the measurements on Wikipedia, and then like scaling it based on what they said the blade size was, and then looking at the image, and we're like, okay, well if the blade's that size, the hilt is like roughly that same width, and then it's offset a little bit, so it's like we figured out what it would be roughly, and we ordered this, and we didn't even think about it. We're just like, yeah, that's what the measurements are. So we ordered this, and it's huge. It's like a Darksaber for a giant. Like, anyway, so this was obviously the wrong thing. Hopefully, we'll figure out a way to use this later on. But we went to our local Steel Mart place and found this out of steel. It has a thinner wall than the aluminum, and we can actually fit electronics in it. So
I'm really scared of this.
we got this battery pack for charging phones at 5 volts that'll work perfect for LEDs at 5 volts. That fits inside of here perfectly, nice and snug. And this is the only one that we could find that would fit inside this size thing.
Well, and we happen to have it.
And we happen to have it.
It was something that we already had.
It is available online, so we wanted to make sure that it's recreatable for you guys. Anyway, so that's the hilt stuff, part of the hilt design so far. We haven't done all the detail. I haven't finished with all the details and everything, just kind of building out that pattern. But here we have our cut acrylic. Myron probably gets nervous every time he sees me try to lift this up. He's like,
I'm nervous it didn't look as scary when I was watching from upstairs. It's like, this is very curious.
So this is our blade. It's not going to be brown. This just has a paper.
Here it is!
A sticky paper over it to keep it from getting scratched and stuff. But let me just show you a quick look at what I showed everybody else earlier of how we're doing this. So it's sandwiched with the idea that Bob from I Like to Make Stuff came up with and that Odin used. We're just going to do it in a different way.
Really quick, and he's probably done, but John left. So just say, bye, John.
Oh, see you, John. Thank you so much for tuning in. Yeah, and make sure to watch that video tomorrow on the patterning. So we have this 1/2-inch piece that's cut out, and we're gonna line it with LEDs. These aren't the right LEDs. We have ones that are a lot more densely packed, where it's like back-to-back LEDs, like no gaps in between them. But anyway, we're gonna run LEDs along the edges here, facing out, like that, all the way around. We're gonna probably sand the inside to diffuse that, to make it so that it spreads the light around more. And then once we glue all these together, we're gonna cut sand a beveled edge into this, and so all of this will like light up bright white. And then, so that'll go all the way around. And then along this cutting blade edge side, we're gonna have the LEDs run like this, and then probably back on itself, or we might like fold them up or something like that, so that they're like front and back all the way up. But anyway, and they'll be pointing up because we're gonna have that kind of fade from the light into the black, and then have those little like electrical like kind of things that are happening, like kind of the little flits that happen. Maybe I'll just record the sound effects with like into a recorder. I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna try to do that. And then, yeah, so back to the story. And then what we'll do is paint on the back side of this. This is a clear frosted rather than the black acrylic that that Odin and Bob both did. And we're gonna just paint on the back side the width that we are wanting the black area to be. And then we're gonna kind of sand a little bit along this bladed edge, just to kind of make that be less sharp just along this edge, and then like etch in a couple little like electrical flits. And then with these lights, we're gonna have them all programmed, so the ones around the edge, when you light it up, it's gonna go and light up the blade. And then the ones that are facing up and down this way, they're gonna kind of have hopefully kind of like this like flashing hum to them, kind of this flicker, and then have like random brighter spots, like just where it goes like super bright, right? Well, maybe I think there are controllable RGB LEDs, and I think we can control the power level on them too. So we'll probably have like a lower kind of like dimmer light that's kind of just like kind of this like little hum, and then there will be like flashes of just brighter kind of thing flicking through. So
Whoa.
anyway, and oh, sorry.
I just have a question.
Yes.
So, will you be able to? Will the ones on the outsides just be solid? They're not flickering.
Yes.
But the thing can control all of those things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh.
So we got this cool little. Myron has it. He's playing with it tonight at his house. This teensy. It's actually called a teensy little like circuit board thing that's like a mini Arduino, super small. And then we got a prop. Myron, what's it called? The prop shield that attaches to it, that gives us other functionalities like the soundboard and the motion control like detection, that just like sits right onto it, and it's like the whole thing is like this tall
It's crazy.
and like this wide. It's like crazy. So it'll fit in here. Then we're gonna also have a speaker built in.
I'm sorry, I like keep seeing it flash by my face.
And then we're gonna have a speaker like built in there too, for the sound, so that when it lights up, it does the Darksaber light up sound, and then has the Darksaber hum, and then when you move it around, it does kind of the more like the Darksaber thing. So it's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be legit. The title of my video will probably be something related to creating the most legit Darksaber the internet's ever seen. Anyway, we think so. But yeah, so keep track of the progress on that. That's what we're working on.
Well,
That's what we've been actively continuing to work on. We've just been hanging out and chatting.
but it's fun.
But I love it. It's awesome. So let's see. Oh, well, we said much props and Cosplay Apprentice unite. Dude, Thomas, if you're still on, we should get like cosplay rings and do that. They like
Like old
much props and
Trump.
Cosplay Apprentice unite, and like we'll create like one mega cosplayer. I watched too many Power Rangers as a kid.
I thought it was Voltron that had the ring.
Well, and Voltron. I guess Power Rangers was like a ripoff of Voltron, basically. So Voltron, Power Rangers, all of the above, Megazords and stuff. You gonna make a crystal chamber in the Darksaber? Yes. Oh, thank you so much for reminding me. We are. So, for those of you who weren't here earlier, William Jakespeare on YouTube makes these kyber crystals and sells them on Etsy. He sent us a couple, and we're gonna give away a couple of them on the in the video. Well, we'll tell you how you can enter to
We're gonna make you
win.
do something crazy.
We'll tell you how you can enter to win.
Whole ice bucket challenge all over again. Just kidding.
And we're gonna integrate one of them into our Darksaber. And so we're gonna have this section right here. So in the Mandalorian reference image here, I'm so glad you brought this up. Look at this. We found this like super zoomed in, like not very high res, but like super zoomed in photo that somebody did and like brightened up and tried to sharpen it and stuff. And we found out that his Darksaber has those 4 spots like lit up. So we're gonna do that too. We're gonna light them up with the light from the kyber crystal.
Ooh.
So these will have the little square openings here in the center will be like frosted plastic or something like that. And this section right here is actually gonna slide up. So remember, this is the end of the blade, right? This is gonna be a little bit thicker. It's not gonna be paper thin like this. It'll stick out like 4 millimeters. And it will slide up revealing this section of this that's notched out, and we'll have kind of like some little like electronic doodads with a light lighting up this kyber crystal. But William Shakespeare also accidentally discovered a really cool trick where he thought he was adding a clear coat to one of his clear kyber crystals, but he grabbed the wrong paint sprayer, and it was like this black tinted visor spray or something like that. And he sprayed it. He's like, oh shoot! But then he tried to light it up, and it actually still lit up, but it looked black normally. But when it was lit up, it had kind of like the little bubbles and stuff that are in there were all kind of like refracting light and like shining through the black, and it looked like the perfect type of kyber crystal that you'd expect to see in a Darksaber. So we're gonna do that, use that trick that he accidentally discovered to paint this, and we'll light it up in here, and we're hoping that we can get that the light from the kyber crystal to shine out on both sides here through those 4 holes to match the one in the Mandalorian. So otherwise, there's like really nothing else we have to go off of to match the Mandalorian till next season. So we're kind of like taking the Rebels one, the design for the hilt from Rebels, and saying, hey, if we were to convert this into like a real life saber sword thing, what are the dimensions that we would probably expect to see, which is going to be more katana style like, but straight blade. And we've kind of just gone with that. So trying to be as if we were like the ones making it for the Mandalorian, how would we convert it from the cartoon to a real life thing, right? It's kind of the way that we approached it. So the hilt is very detailed in Rebels, and so we're going with that, matching that, screen accurate, spot on. And then the blade and some of the other aspects, we're trying to like say, okay, sizing wise, proportions wise, let's see what would look like it was like a thing in real life. So yeah, let's see. I'll hopefully be there. This makes me even more excited for September. Yay! Well, thank you. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. I'm excited. Ignacio, oh, that's nice. I don't think that those details in the blade are too difficult to make. They don't need to be completely white. Yeah, exactly. Those are just gonna kind of be more like little extra flits and things like that. But that was something that like nobody else that's built it has done yet, and that they said they wish they could have done. So we're like, we're on it. Let's figure it out. So super excited about that. Zilly said that'll look awesome when it's finished. Thank you. Yeah, I'm super pumped. Watch out, Olivia.
I know. I'm just like gonna get hit in the face here.
Ooh, Green Lantern rings, Myron says. That'd be sweet. Oh, definitely like Captain Planet. Yes, like Captain Planet too. That's true.
All the greats.
All the classics. How are you gonna cut the steel?
Myron assures us.
Yes, Myron says he's got a way.
We're scared.
I'm just saying, cut it here, and then he's gonna say, okay, this is how we're gonna do it. So we got these, nope, not those. Those look scary though.
What is that?
These cutting wheels for the, thing. These are not for
Looks
cutting
like
steel.
a Barbie horror show.
Yeah, that was not the right one. We got these Dremel discs, and Myron said that we should be able to cut it with that. But
on here he's saying
but we want
metal cutting bandsaw.
Yeah, we're gonna use a metal cutting bandsaw instead.
Just clarifying.
Yes.
We're like, oh, it's that.
Yeah, because we're like, well, we could cut it out with that, but it's not gonna be that clean, and we want it to be a nice, like, clean thing. And so we can just we figured out what the angle on this is 30 degrees. And so we can just set it on the metal cutting bandsaw thing and just have it cut through and get a nice, perfect, clean, angled cut. Yes. Oh, yeah, good point. We'll use the Dremel discs to cut out the kyber crystal channel in the metal, though, to open that up. And then we'll use a metal drilling bit to drill a bunch of holes somewhere in here where our speaker will need to have some sound waves coming out. Those are sound waves coming at you.
Whoa.
All right. Let's see. Yeah, that's a great question, Zuli, because that's what I kept asking. How are we gonna cut the steel? But yeah, we got this. We got this. If we had known the measurements, which you guys will when we put the video out, we'll give you. You'll have the template. Will have it all. You can actually just go. We went to the steel, like a local steel place. Steel Mart. What was I don't remember the name of it.
What was the name, Myron?
Place that sells steel tubes and such. And we went to their
Use
remnants.
your phone book.
We went to their remnants section. And he's like,
He doesn't know either.
Yeah, anyway, go to a steel place, type in steel in Google, local, something like that. And we actually went to their remnants section because usually they're used to like selling steel to like big like building people, manufacturers, whatever. They're not like selling it to people to make like Darksabers. And so until now, they just found a whole new industry. But we went and just told them, hey, like this is what we were looking for. Do you have any like remnant scraps that are like this long, roughly? We don't know how long we actually need it, so do you have it in like this long? I think we did what, 2 feet, a little over 2 feet, something like that. Anyway, but when you know the actual measurements, he actually cut off a piece from like a longer remnant and then just like said, okay, hey, here it is, $5, and we're like, sweet. But I bet you could actually say, hey, can I just pay you a little bit more to have you cut this 30-degree angle at this measurement, and then have them do it so you don't have to. But yeah, or you can try your luck with some Dremel discs.
Or you can make it out of foam.
Or you can make it out of foam. So that, yeah, for those of you that didn't hear before, when we release the pattern, we're gonna have this, but then we're gonna also quickly whip up from our pattern one that's just made out of foam, because I'm trying to design it in a way where it'll work for this, and then if you just use a different thickness of foam for certain parts of it, you can just make the whole thing out of foam, and still have it be, you know, open in the center like this if you wanted to add some type of electronics to get this section to glow or something, you know, or add in a lighter weight blade that lights up somehow or something. But anyway, so yeah, so there will be an option to just make the hilt out of foam as well, so don't feel intimidated. There will be like the big amazing everything tricked out part, and then there'll be the nice easy make it out of foam and be on your way one. So yeah, cool. Well, we didn't really get any further on it, but
Cosplay builder.
said what? Did I miss one?
Playa.
Oh, sweet, thanks. Let's see, how did I miss it? Oh, there we go. Love your work, player. West Side in the house. Nice.
Hi.
That's legit.
Welcome.
Yeah.
Check out your stuff.
Yeah, welcome. But yeah, so we've gone well over our hour time limit. Have we ever stayed within our hour time limit? Probably not. Should we call it? Or should we actually work on this a little bit? Or just
I don't know.
maybe we'll just continue to work on it and you'll just have to wait until next time to see
Leia.
what happens. Good night, Leia. You're amazing staying up so
I'm
late.
excited to see your shirt. Oh yeah, we should probably get our
Oh, yes.
fandom bounds together.
Yes, that's true. We should probably call it because we need to get our fandom bounds together for tomorrow.
But join us.
Yes. So for those of you that weren't on before, we're doing a thing called tomorrow called Fandom Bound Friday. It's basically like if you've heard of Disney bounding, we expanded it from just Disney genre to any fandom. And
Right, Red Linguini.
every
Nacio.
everyone's just bailing before we talk about Fandom Bound Friday. They're like, I'm out.
Dress up like
Anyway,
your favorite
dress
fandom.
up like your favorite character from whatever your favorite fandom is, but you kind of do it by integrating like the essence of that character into your like everyday clothes. So you just go to work, you're secretly cosplaying a character and nobody has any idea. But make sure to share a picture of your Fandom Bound tomorrow with us, using the hashtag Fandom Bound Friday, or tagging me at Cosplay Apprentice in it. And if you guys want, I'll share your guys' stuff on our channel and get your show your cool stuff off. So, but yeah, anyway, I'll show you a preview. I'm almost done. Sweet. Cool, guys. Thank you so much. Oh my goodness, 2:40 in the morning there. Have a good night.
Thanks for hanging out with us.
Yeah,
so
thank
late.
you so much for tuning in, everybody. We love this. Sorry it's late, but we love hanging out with you guys. It's so much fun. We appreciate you guys staying up late and hanging out with us. And have a good night. You two are awesome. Hope to meet you two at a con someday. Definitely, you too. That would be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna we gotta make this happen. We'll start going around to all these different cons and like see you guys and stuff. So, oh, your Subnautica build, sweet. Yeah, I'm excited to see that. Okay, well, thank you guys so much. You guys are awesome. We love you. Hang out with us next week and join us in our Fandom Bound Friday tomorrow. Tell your friends about it. It's a way to be able to cosplay in the day-to-day. Ooh.
Cosplay in your day-to-day.
I like it. New tagline for it. Cosplay in your day-to-day. Fandom Bound Friday. Join us tomorrow.
Good night, Uriel and Ignacio.
See you guys.
She's like, well done.
All right, have a good night, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll leave this up if you guys missed the beginning part and want to go back and see anything.
Night, Zuli.
Have a good one. See you guys. Cosplay on, my friends.
Ooh.